Previously on Aethernaut. The Aethernaut discovers, according to Dr. Louis Cornell, that it was one of the Co, albeit one separated from the hive mind. You know, I don't know how this gets reset after leaving, but... right, yeah. Please try and... I don't know. Figure out the rest? Oh wait. Yes. The time light will be needed to keep that door open. Yeah, it would work better if the time light exposed the door. Yes, now, right. You might want to switch the shadow cube with the light cube into the bigger cube. Yeah. Yes, I know it might be a bit... too much to handle, to put it mildly. You being one of those enslaved, but... whatever the... decision that you'll have to make at some point. You don't have to make that decision yet. All that can be done is figuring out what to do next. Figuring out these experiments. And then head into where you have the choice of freeing your own kind or enabling the enslavement. Yes. They're clearly desperate to hang on to the benefits without considering the cost. The cost being the enslavement of a sentient life form. Okay, yeah. You'll probably be needing that as well. Yeah. Right. I think you've got everything. Let's hope you do. Right. Yeah, it'll probably work best with that. Guess why isn't it working? Yeah. Annoying, isn't it? This flashlight isn't working. It's also, for some reason, not freezing the door in place. Yes, I'm not sure what's going wrong here. But whatever is going wrong, you're going to need to open that door and go through it if you want to complete the experiment. Yes, that could work. Ah, yes, right idea, you just need to get the timing right.
You can choose to save us.
I've sent 12 other co-Aethernauts to the construct, but none of them even made it to the Narrows. I know the collective has been contacting you, urging you to help them, and I think that's why the others abandoned their golem bodies. But you're still here, even after learning the truth, which gives me hope that you can be our salvation.
Ah, so that's what they were. Those bodies we found earlier. Golem bodies. Right, now, how do we navigate this? Ah, yes. I can see what needs to be done here. Need another way of getting that light. Yes. Need to use the panel on that pressure plate. Well, if you want to go out with that light, I can't think of any other way of navigating through here. Yes, and you can replace the panel once the light is shining on the right part of this. Yes, you've got the right idea now. Ah, yes, I think I know what to do here now. Switch the panels. Oh yes, and it would help if the light was shining on the right parts. Well, in this case, not shining on the shadow panel. Yes, now you have the rest of it pretty much sorted out.
All will perish without your help.
I've been asking you all of these questions because I wanted to understand what made you unique. I also wasn't lying when I said that you were the last Aethernaut I would be able to send in. It made me want to build a real bond with you. The last bond I'll ever get to establish with anyone.
Yeah, he's on borrowed time and he is fully aware of it. He wants to make the most of it. And make sure that everyone isn't completely wiped out. And where now? Okay, so we're in an oceanic. Ah, right. Yes, I can see a problem here. And I have a few theories regarding this. None of them good ones. Let's keep moving to find out what that is. Ah. I think I know where we've ended up. Or rather, when we've ended up. This is still the same planet, but probably a few billion years in the future. Well, it's certainly long enough to result in the sun expanding and the oceans boiling up. Well, that's the only explanation I can come up with that would explain what's here, wouldn't it? Got any better theories? Let's hear that. I'll take that as a no then. Okay. Might be a good idea to head back to the present. Then you could do something about what's here. Ah, good. Now we can make some progress.
I am the last of the construct scientists, and although I kept going through the motions, I still felt like the situation was hopeless. Seeing you exit that first room was a real treat, but once I saw you complete those early experiments, I realized that maybe my final moments here would not have been for nothing. And now that we're this close to the end, there is one more question I would like to ask you. Please find a polling booth, if you'll allow. I got a report today about another accident down in the excavation site where they're trying out the time portals. We're being as careful as possible, but this is all new technology, and frankly, you can't make an omelet without breaking any eggs. I've talked to Faley, and I understand her concerns, but this research is bigger than all of us, and I don't think she understands that. Oh well, as always, I'll do the best I can. I can't let myself be slowed down at this critical juncture.
Well, it's best to be too cautious. Yeah, I know. They're not cautious enough.
You've been navigating the construct, choosing and completing experiments, and now I have to ask you, do you believe that we have free will, or is it all just an illusion? There are so many complex ramifications to a question like this, so I hope you can bring some insight. Left for free will, right for illusion. Each of us, when confronted with the same situation, can make vastly different decisions. Our choices both define us and are built upon who we are. But then, wouldn't that simply make us the sum of our experiences, our genetic makeup, and all of the other factors out of our control? Perhaps we can't see all of the parameters that go into a choice, making free will just a clever illusion. The potential of the Aether felt unlimited, and this device may yet be our greatest accomplishment. Behold, time traveler, your very own time machine. First, you'll need to power it up with Aether, green on one side and blue on the other. The portal will be time-locked, allowing you to travel back to the moment when you created it. I'm sure it's a little confusing, so just try generating the portal, moving around for a bit, and crossing through. You will not regret it.
I think it's a bit late for that, isn't it? Yeah, you'll need a time cube for this. At least that's what's being implied. And it's also implied that in order to get through this, you'll need to think four-dimensionally. And I suspect you're meant to be here before that trip to the far future. As this form of time travel involves going back to the near past and using earlier versions of yourself to do what you couldn't do alone.
Once everyone left or vanished, I was the only one left to keep the Aethernaut project alive. Every previous Aethernaut we sent out failed, so it was unlikely that you would be any different. But you made a choice of your own volition to help me, even without knowing who I was. No matter what happens next, I will always be grateful for that. You might feel the air getting hotter as you're moving deep into the caverns, but don't worry, it's perfectly normal. You're now reaching the excavation site, where we gather and process the aerolite ore necessary to create aether cubes. And, since the ambient conditions were different from the rest of the construct, we took the opportunity to set up a few experiments. It allowed us to see how aether reacts under extreme circumstances.
Wait, I know what needs to be done here. Yes, remember what you do, and then when you go back in time, take that into account when you do what you need to in order to go through this. Yes, you need to think four-dimensionally. This is what you need to do here. Yes, you need that panel. Yes, there's a lot of you here, isn't there? And it looks like, yeah, you just created a paradox. Now you just need to figure out the right combination of actions involving multiple copies of you in order to get through here. Yes, you might want to go back in time. No, that's not going to work. This, however, might. Although it will help if you shone it in the right location. And yes. Starting to get better at thinking four-dimensionally. Okay, now you just need to wait for this door to open and claim the ether file.
We have suffered long enough.
We made a terrible choice, enslaving and using the Co for our benefit. And although it was never my choice, I also don't want to be dismissive and shift the blame. I chose to be happy by continuing to work on something I was truly passionate about. And even now, as the storm has consumed so many of us, I still can't really feel any regrets for what we've done.
Yes, we get it. Dr. Louis Cornell, you're a borderline sociopath. Okay. Yes. it looks like if you want to get anywhere, you're going to need to find a way of getting that other doll out of that room. Yes, it might be best to move it there. Yes, rather than here, yes. Good, now you can access the door. Well, access the doll by opening the door. Yes, it might be a good idea also to put the doll here where the big cube was holding it. Good. Now you have that. And that. Yes, that might be a better one to hold it down when you don't need it. Now you need a way of getting through that next room. Yes, it would help if you had a doll in order to get in there. Right. Yes, of course. You're going to need to turn off the light in order to, yes, open the door of the shadow panel. Okay, yeah, good. Yes, you're going to need to use the time cube to freeze the doors open. Yes. And it would also help if you had... Oh, wait. The light panel can be carried easily without weighing you down too much. I'll leave the rest to you.
They chose to sacrifice us.
You claimed that you would refuse to sacrifice a world to save your own. What a terrible burden it would be to see the people around you suffering and dying, knowing that you have the power to change their fate. That was the price we would pay for the Co's freedom, more suffering and death. We made a terrible choice, but it was always out of necessity.
I'm sure they said something similar about African slaves centuries ago. Doesn't make that true either.
This is Forewoman Faley, reporting the account of Incident 27651, the death of Alan Prescott. Apparently, a guardrail was removed by one of the scientists for their experiments. During the course of his regular duties, Alan just tripped and fell off the cliffside. A side note, this is the first incident since the last foreman died in his own accident. The powers that be promised to investigate the security measures in place, but from the way things are run around here, I won't hold my breath.
Didn't realize the safety record around here was that bad. No wonder things went to hell. Right, this will require a lot of moving things around, and yeah. You'll need more than one object in order to do so. Yes, you need that to keep that open, and you'll need some way of getting the walkways raised if you want to get to the exits, or rather to where the Aether vial is, and then you can get out. Yes, you'll need the time cube in that dot, certainly. You might want to look around, see if there's anything you've missed, where that lamp will open. Oh yes. It could also help if you had a way of getting to where you need to go. Aha, yes. Like there, for example. I think I know what you do here. You need a big cube to put the time cube in, once you've lit everything up. Well, at least the parts that matter, where you can freeze everything in place so that you can bring a lamp with a light cube where you need it. I'll leave the rest to you, as that's pretty much how you solve this one. How much time will it take to figure out these experiments? How long will it take for this independent code to master thinking four-dimensionally? Find out next time on Aethernaut.